Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a Dollar Tree DIY mermaid gift bag. So for this project, I printed 2 sheets per bag with about 2 different shades each time I printed it. And I downloaded this design from my Canva Pro account. Then I picked up 2 of these 2 packs of gift bags, and the color only matters if you want it to be at least as close to your theme as possible, but in any case, I knew I was going to cover up these bags as much as I could with these DIY stickers. Then I took my scissors and just cut off the white border. And repeat that for all my sticker sheets. So here are all 4 sheets cut out. So here I'm just taking my 2-pack bag, pulling it apart, tossing out the tag. So to start, I grab one of the bags and flip it to the front side where the bottom flap is flipped to the back. Then I take one of the stickers paired by shades and I just peel a corner of it. I do the best I can to try to get it as even and centered as possible onto the bag. Now there's a little bit of overhang, and I decided I was going to be okay with letting it overhang to the right side. Once I was happy with the placement, I pushed the corner down where I lifted the backing, and then I just peeled the rest of the backing away and then pushed it down as I went down. Then I flipped it to the back side and I just folded over the overhang and then pressed it down to just the inner back end. I hope that makes sense because you don't want it to seal the bag flat. So you want to open the sides a little bit and then push the overhang and seal it down. So this next part is optional, but I'm a bit extra. So I flip the bag to the back and take the other matching sticker. And instead of trying to match up the corner at the top, I try to match up the corner at the bottom. However, in my experience doing the previous 2 bags, this back end is always an issue based on the folded part that folds back to the back. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, so I go ahead and try doing it from the bottom corner first, and then peel the backing away, and then pressing it down. But because it's already folded, even though I pushed it back so that it's try to make it as flat as possible, it still ends up being imperfect. And you know what, that's okay because it's not really seen very much. But again, it's totally optional, so it's totally up to you if you want to do this part. You could actually save your sticker and then just do the front only if you wanted. And this is where I realized that these bags are not perfectly straight. They kind of slant inward a little bit or whatever, so it's okay. There's a little bit of overhang on either side when I flip it over. However, I go ahead and take my scissors and cut towards the bend of where the bag bends to the back, because that way it makes it easier to seal it to the inside midsection of the bag when I open it up. Otherwise, it's just going to tear anyways, so I just cut it anyway. And then we seal it the same way we did for the front by making sure to seal it to the side sections of the bag. So mine had excess once I tried to flip the flap back to the back, and I went ahead and just trimmed that off and threw it away, and then made sure to fold that flap backwards to the way it wanted to sit. So off camera, I even tried attaching the sticker going from the bottom corner going up, but I still had issues making it perfect. And here are all the bags completed. If you wanted to, you could embellish it further. And of course, I can't leave well enough alone, so I gotta go ahead and embellish it further. One thing I wanted to do is go ahead and cover up that top gap, so I take some scrap fabric that I felt would match the mermaid theme and cut them into strips and tore them just because it would give a really cool rustic look. Then I hot glued a portion of it to the back end, and then I cut off the excess because I don't want to seal this bag. Then for the front, I kind of repeat the same thing, but I want it to meet in the middle, sort of creating a bit of a belt. And since my previous strips were actually shorter when I practiced this off camera earlier, I decided to make sure that it was a little bit short so that I can make gems that go in the middle for the pearl accents. And off camera, I go ahead and repeat that for the remaining bags. Then this is what I have once done. Next, I wanted to go ahead and fill it with as many mermaid-themed things as I possibly could. Unfortunately, the sticker got kind of pointy and caused the thing to tear, I believe, but we don't really have time to fix that, so we're going to keep pushing forward. In my last Dollar Tree visit, I went ahead and picked up 2 different shades of tissue paper. I wanted mine to be matching, so I picked up purple and teal. And I don't know how many of you grab their tissue paper, especially ones wrapped up like these, but I discovered the best way is to just peel the outermost layer and then tug at it from the bottom so that you could pull the bulk of the actual tissue paper out. I hope that makes sense. So if any of you struggle with putting tissue paper in with gift bags, I'm going to show you my method, which I really like and I think it looks nice. And it's intended to not look exactly perfect. And I don't know if that even makes sense because, I mean, obviously these tissue papers are rectangular and they have straight edges. But when you look at gift bags that look nicely put together, you don't want just like straight rectangular shape sticking out of your bag. You want these little angles of things. So here's what I like to do. First, I like to get at least 2 different shades of tissue paper. Then I take 1 layer of each only. And it's up to you which goes over the top of the other. It really doesn't matter. Feel free to play around with it. But basically, I like to lay one down in a diagonal situation. Then lay the other layer on top of it, but not matching, just on a different diagonal, if you will. So that way you've got like these little spikes, if you will. Then as I fold it, I fold that diagonally in a way so that when they land upon each other, they're not lining up. We want them in different directions so that way it looks intentionally put together. And before I forget, I do want to show you what I'm personally putting into this gift bag for the kids. The girls are getting mermaid themed sticker nails or nail stickers. I'm still kind of new to that stuff. Actual mermaid stickers. You might recall from last week's video the DIY pre-sketched mermaid tail. And believe it or not, I found this My Dress Up Mermaid activity book from Dollar Tree, and I was able to find enough for those attending. And each one is getting 2 slap bracelets because of the fact that I have to get them in a certain amount of packs or whatever, and that's the lowest I can get. So each one's getting 2. They're also getting nail polish because I remember putting nail polish on when I was 5, so they're all above 5 years old, minus my daughter. So then I first just go ahead and put the items carefully into the bag to make sure I don't rip anything else anymore. So then I take my pile of tissue paper and I fold it into thirds. And that way it could easily be put into the gift bag. And I want to make sure that these jagged edges are protruding out of the bag a little bit so that they're visible, while also helping me to hide the actual contents of each bag. And of course, let's not forget to give each of them some watercolor paints. And here's the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you know that I am currently selling personally designed t-shirts based off of my upcoming book, The Cancer Dragon? Here, I'm unboxing some orders from coworkers who I'm very grateful to for supporting my mission. If you were to ask me honestly, the idea for this logo came from my DIY Cancer Dragon wreath. My husband bought me a shirt once that said, "I kicked cancer's ass," but because of where I work, HR would have had a hissy fit over that, so I decided to design my own. To me, there's something to be proud of in becoming a Cancer Dragon Slayer, and I really hope my journey inspires you. I never planned on designing shirts for this, but as I kept creating and finding ways to express my life story, it just happened. I thought to myself, who else might love a shirt like this? On the back, the sayings are made for slayers, warriors, supporters, and even for honoring lost warriors. These shirts were created with all of you in mind, and I was so happy with the design that I wanted to make it available for anyone who feels connected to this journey. Okay, so here's the cover so far for my upcoming book. The basic gist of it is, I became diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, got pregnant during fertility treatments, refused to abort, despite my doctor's warnings that I'd die at birthing my child. For book updates or to support me, scan the code or click the link below. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.